I'll zoom out so you can kind of see that that's what it looks like. I've just been doing kind of messy functional planning, but you could definitely make this a lot more aesthetic. So what I've done is I've added in all of my December, the calendar, birthdays, big events like that. Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name's Claire, and today I am going through my December planner setup. So to start here, I'm just grabbing a couple stickers, and today I am going to be focusing on the monthly overview page with the calendar, and then also the page that has all of my kind of goals for the month. So I am filming this about a week before the end of November, so I do still have a couple of goals for November that I'm still working on, and if I don't get those completed in November, I will add kind of a couple more things in here, so you may see this change in the future. So to start, I just thought it would be fun to grab a couple happy birthday stickers. With how long they are, they wouldn't fit in the box, so I did cut them in half. I have a few family birthdays that are happening in December. Usually a pretty busy month for us in terms of Christmas and birthdays. So I've got 3 birthdays here that I'll be taking the stickers for, kind of cutting them in half, and then adding them into the calendar. This is the Erin Condren horizontal layout life planner. So you'll see there's the weekly spread, but in terms of the monthly page, again, just kind of cutting these stickers and getting kind of the main events added to December. So aside from the kind of typical, we've got Christmas and New Year's Eve and all of the end of year stuff that keeps all of us pretty busy over the holidays. I don't have a ton of stuff to do in terms of lots of different things that I'm focused on. However, you'll see a little bit later in the video that I am going to write down all of my modules and assignments and everything that are due for the courses that I'm going to be wrapping up kind of in December. So the whole right side will be kind of full of school stuff. But aside from that, in terms of stuff that I'm needing to actually add to this calendar spread, there's really not a lot. You'll see a couple orange boxes here that have whiteout. So that's previously where I had final exams scheduled. But as I mentioned in quite a few of my videos, I changed my approach. So a lot of those exams will already be completed kind of by the time that December hits. So hopefully all I should have to do in December is 2 exams. The only one that may still happen in December is the statistics course that I'm doing. I'm hoping to do the exam on November 30th, but if I need to push that back a couple days, that will fall into December. Technically, my due date for that is the first Tuesday of December. So we'll kind of see how I go with that. That's the goal, but hoping just to have the 2 courses left to do in December and have everything wrapped up by then. And you will see I have the due dates there kind of in the blue pen for the latest that I'm hoping to complete each of those courses. But once I'm working on the course, I'm going to see if I can complete each one a little bit more quickly once I get into the content. So I didn't want to write in the big boxes of the exam just because I think the dates will likely change. And you'll see I did white out what was inside the boxes with the orange borders, but I wasn't able to, or I didn't try to white out the full borders. I think it's kind of nice to see like what you originally scheduled a little bit as well as what might have changed. So here what I'm looking at is just a way to, with this monthly spread, add a little bit more kind of Christmassy winter vibes into the month. And this is a sticker book. This is the seasonal one that usually I don't find a ton of stuff that I want to use, but I actually really like the winter theme stickers. So you will actually see that I use quite a few of these as I'm kind of decorating this page. I really like the snowflakes stickers, and I used all of them, I think, kind of within this spread, but just pulling up these tree stickers and just really cute kind of aesthetically for what I like for the Christmas vibe. So the hard thing with this planner is it is gorgeous, but it's got that the decoration already with the flower at the top kind of makes it hard to make each month like fully theme based because you would have to fully cover the whole top for that to happen, which I'm not going to do. I probably could if I wanted to, but not going to do this month. I'm just going to add stickers to the page kind of as it is. And you'll see, like I mentioned, I use a lot of the snowflakes, and really just kind of having a little bit of fun with this spread. I am really a Christmas person. I like to celebrate Christmas. I like to do all the decorations and all of that kind of stuff. So really looking forward to this month and doing Christmas baking, um, and just kind of getting into the Christmas spirit a little bit more. I haven't really had the opportunity to do that over the past 5 or 6 years. So really looking forward to being kind of around family and really celebrating the whole Christmas thing, as much as I would usually like to celebrate it. So really looking forward to December in general. I thought what would be cute for this month is for this bottom section here, I'm using that winter bucket list. And then I'm going in and I'm adding a whole bunch of the kind of bucket list stickers that they have of things to do in the month. So for November, if you saw my plan with me, November, you'll see that I use that bottom section really for stuff that I wanted to do a little bit of research and maybe figure out in my life. Whereas this one really will be focused on kind of what can I do for fun? How can I celebrate? Bring a little bit of joy into my life over this Christmas season. And so there's a lot of really cute stickers. So I've got so far the read holiday books. I've got decorated gingerbread house. Canada Post currently is on strike, so whether or not we can get a gingerbread house or even like make it, maybe just with stuff from the grocery store if they have it. We've just got like a tiny little grocery store here. And none of our packages are coming through because even FedEx, the final mile on this island, is Canada Post, so we really can't receive anything. Otherwise, it would be cute to see if we can find a little kind of gingerbread decoration kit or make her own and kind of go really traditional with it. Could be fun. Seeing Christmas lights. So this is something, there probably won't be anything here in terms of like going and seeing like a really grand display or anything like that. But as I'm home on the mainland for the few days around Christmas, just hoping to kind of be able to drive by and see some pretty Christmas lights just in the area. That would be really fun. I have baked cookies here. So again, baking, I haven't really had the opportunity to do like a ton of Christmas baking over the past few years or so. And so really doing like the full Christmas baking a ton of different things, and really just kind of enjoying that tradition. I'm really excited about wrapping Christmas gifts. So all of my wrapping will have to be done on Christmas Eve because of the strike. All of the gifts I'm just sending straight to my sisters where I'll be spending Christmas. I probably would have done that anyway, but it just means that I can't kind of send them here, then wrap them here before I go. It means that I'm going to be wrapping them all once I arrive on the mainland on Christmas Eve, which is totally fine. So I have that there. I'm adding a few kind of snowflakes, but I've also got a few other things added, like watch a holiday movie, drink hot chocolate, pick a tree. So that will likely just be probably cutting down a little tree on my mom's property and seeing if we can find some stuff to decorate it and just kind of go that route. But yeah, just added the snowflakes to the header on the left-hand side. So this is just a tracker of who I need to buy Christmas gifts for and if they're bought or not. So you'll see check marks beside the ones that are done. I am going to go back in and add in what I bought everybody. But obviously for this video, I wanted to hold off on doing that until after I filmed it. Just so I'm not ruining any surprises for any family who might be watching this video. And so I don't have a super long list. I really just buy for my immediate family and that's about it. So it makes it pretty easy. That being said, I do have a few siblings, so I definitely still have a decent amount of gifts to buy and kind of plan around. But I've done most of the shopping already. I think I'm about halfway through. And we're still currently in November. I always like to start early just to make sure that there's no issues like with shipping. And I think that probably stems a little bit from having worked in e-commerce for like a decade, and I know how busy everything can get and everything that can kind of go wrong. So I always plan a little bit early with all of that. And then what I'm looking at here is just what other stickers I might want to add to the monthly spread. And I do ultimately decide to add some of the rectangles. I add this really pretty kind of light blue snowflake. And I'm adding these to the days of the calendar that go into January. So the ones that aren't part of December. And so I'm just lining that up kind of with the bottom boxes. And then there is actually a second rectangle of the same design. So I do add that one as well. And you'll see me grabbing that one here. And in order to fit it, I do have to lift up that happy birthday sticker that's on the box above. So I just lift that enough really to get the bigger sticker underneath it. And then I'm going to lay that back down on top. But I just think this adds a nice little brightness to the page. And definitely wish I had more rectangles of this same design, because I would have taken this all the way over to the full edge, but then also to the one day prior. I would have just kind of cut the boxes, but that was all we had of that design, but still okay, still really cute. And I think it adds a nice little bit of color. I was kind of wondering as I did this if it would have made more sense to add those bigger stickers or some bigger stickers across the top to cover that flower, but it wouldn't have covered it fully. So I think I would need to have something that would be wider, and then other stickers to like place over the days of the week to really have made that work. And then what I decided here is, because it is the month of Christmas, really focusing on having like red and green pens. I'm kind of wishing that I had done that with some of the other items that I have written in there. So I may go back over at some point and kind of change those, like write over them with the felts, just to have everything kind of in that red and green theme. But we'll kind of see how that unfolds if I decide to go back and do that kind of throughout the month or not. And then what I'm doing here is I'm just pulling out these stickers again. The page, it just seems a little bit empty to me in terms of having the decoration, and there's so many beautiful stickers here, and just seeing is there anything else that I could add. But I think ultimately I don't add anything from it at this point. I was just kind of seeing what else might exist. And as I say that, I am pulling one up here. So I did pull up this little kind of snow globe one that I think is really cute. Put that on the bottom over the blue. And I think I might pull that other jar up with a tree as well. And then just put that in the New Year's Day. So that's the last day of January. That kind of is not technically a part. And I spoke too soon, so I put this one up at the top. And then I do wind up moving a different one into the January box a little bit later in the video. And then I just grabbed my computer here, so you'll see that kind of in the side view of the frame. Because it felt very and what I'm doing is I just pulled up the list of the modules and I just wanted to add for each of the courses, as I mentioned earlier. So I am going in and writing in each module, and I'm going through and I am alternating the red and the green. Again, like I said, I did want Christmas. So this part here, the top two lines are writing over like white out. So the pen's not really showing up, and it is a very light green pen. And so I am alternating, and I will actually, after I do this, go back and write over the green, because funnily enough, the green felt that looks lighter on the outside is actually much darker. So I'm just going through and I'm adding, so you'll see that I do start writing out the full unit and kind of like writing a sign for assignment. And as I go through, I do kind of shorten that just because the section for writing really isn't that wide. So just going through here, this management course is a business ethics course. So it's got quite a few modules. So it's funny how some of them, you know, it can be the same year, of course. And like my stats course has maybe 5 modules or units in it total. And then this one here has like 12. So they've just broken it down way more. I did try to kind of skip a level and see if I could save switching the pens back and forth. But of course I wrote the same number, so I did just kind of fix that to 9 rather than having 2 8s. And then from there I did actually just decide just to alternate my pens to be safe. And as I mentioned, that green really is very light. It wasn't that light kind of in person. It was still quite light, but I think just on the screen it appears much lighter than it was. So definitely makes me glad that I did go back over that at the end. So just going through writing all of my assignments, and then what I like to do is throughout the month check these off when I kind of look back on my monthly view of how far I've come. You'll see I did the same thing in November, and I will actually film once November is over, kind of a November review, and it will be similar to my weekend review, but just showing the full month. What did I set out to accomplish across the entire month? And then after I've kind of moved things around and all of that, where did I land on my monthly goals? I just thought that would be a fun thing to do at a bit of a higher level. And then here, just to identify that I've got a different course starting, I started again with the red, even though it means red and red. And then I will go through and I'll do a little border between the two a little bit later. And then again, like this finance one has quite a few units. So I am going through and just writing, and then you will see that I do wind up needing the bottom lines in this section where I did originally put a sticker. So I am going to have to lift that sticker, and you'll see that I do move that pretty quick here, and just kind of decide that I could have more room if I move the sticker, and I do need that room. And it's funny because these courses have so many modules, so they take up the full side, but usually what I would have here is all of my course stuff that I need to do, and then also kind of some of the higher level monthly goals that I might have that I might want to duplicate here from the next page in this month, where I've got like that overview page. But it's nice to kind of have my business goals here as well as my school's goals that are broken down a little bit more granular than the high level. But totally fine, that works for this month, and I think this month really will be focused in December on my school because it's the last month of my semester, and I really need to make sure that all my courses are done. And once these 2 courses are done, it will mean that I accomplished, I think, 6 courses towards my degree in this quarter. So really good. Usually full-time would be kind of 5 max. So it will be good to have that done. And then that means that next semester I just have 5 courses left, and then I'm done my degree. So really taking advantage of this time that I have now where I'm focusing kind of full-time just on my schoolwork and my business stuff when I have time around school. So this is where I grabbed the lighter pen to do the separation, and I realize it's a lot darker than the other one. So I am going to quickly go through and, as I mentioned, just write over everything, and you'll see it's more of a Christmassy green. So I really like it, but it also shows up a lot better. So just taking the time to write everything out. So the 2 courses that I'm doing in December, as I mentioned, I've got business ethics, which is the management course at the top. And then I have introduction to business finance. So that one will be a little bit heavier, I think, in terms of content. But I'm hoping with the work I've done that I'll know a lot of kind of the core foundational stuff. And it will just be kind of above and beyond what I already know a little bit. But we'll see. We'll see how the content is once I get into it. But really excited to kind of wrap up the semester, and then hopefully just have like from Christmas Eve through to the end of the year as downtime and just focus on reflection for the year. It's been a big year for me. A lot of massive changes have happened. And then also thinking about what I want to accomplish next year, kind of what direction am I heading in my life. I've got a lot of very different options that I'm considering in terms of like this next chapter in my life. So really just reflecting on what I want and what that is going to look like, as I'm sure all of you will be doing kind of as the end of the year approaches. So that is it. I've got all of my kind of green written back over, which is great. And then I am just going, and on Christmas Day, I'm writing Christmas. I do have that Merry sticker there, but it's not really anything that's shouting out kind of Christmas Day. So you'll see that I have a lot of stickers there. So I do have the ferry stickers on the 24th and the 26th. So I'm going to be taking the ferry from where I'm living onto the mainland on Christmas Eve, and then it's a pretty quick turnaround. I'm going to be coming back home on the evening of Boxing Day. And the reason it's just a really quick visit is because I've got all of my animals, so I'm having to pay for pet sitting for 5 animals, which is pretty pricey, especially around the Christmas time. So they also have had me home for so much time, as long as I've had all of them, because I've been working remotely since 2018. So they're also all very used to me being home. So I don't like to leave for too long, especially when they're with somebody that's like a pet sitter rather than family. Just because I like to be there for them. So that's kind of the plan for the December overview. And then I am going to flip over to the next page, which is going to have my kind of goals overview that you'll see. And as I'm turning here, so we did already do the bucket list on this page, but I am going to go and add my goals for school. And so as I mentioned, my top 2 that I have is my business ethics course and my finance course. So those are my 2 must-dos for the month of December. And then I am going to also add a couple others here, and that is going to be I've got my finance course here that I'm writing, and then I'm going to have my PLAR for my management, which is project management, and PLAR is just meaning that I'm doing a prior learning assessment recognition. So it would just be creating a portfolio, like a report around project management, just to show my experience and that I already have the knowledge to challenge the course. And what I was doing there was just looking quickly at what did I have in the long section in November. And I had business goals, so I'm going to just mirror that here and create that list of what do I want to accomplish for my business, and then what do I want to accomplish for school. And then also just for myself personally, what do I want to accomplish outside of the business and the school, just to add that balance for my own personal goals. And you'll see a little bit of pausing here because I am actually, in real time thinking through what do I want to add here. And what I was thinking is I've got the school in the section with the 4 bullet points and adding whether or not I wanted to add the stretch goals that I'm going to be adding. And ultimately I decide to put them there. So I've got starting my portfolio for this management course, which is project management. And I was looking up the course number there on my computer just to make sure that I had the right one. So it's got the 4751. And then once I've written that, I'm going to say potentially another stretch goal would be to start my marketing course. So I have 3 full-length courses that I'm doing next semester and 2 portfolios. So these last 2 items on the list would be getting a head start on the January semester's courses. And the reason I'm looking at doing that is because I am hoping to get a full-time job pretty quick here. So the more I can get done while I am kind of not working and while I'm truly doing school full-time, the better for me kind of once I am working in terms of what I'm trying to do in my day-to-day life. So I just got both of these. And then also the marketing one is interesting because I do have an interview coming up for a marketing company. So it would be good to have potentially that one done sooner rather than later. I do have some knowledge, but it would just be a nice little refresher if I do get that job. And then I put little asterisks beside both of them, and I did note just that they were stretch goals for myself. And then here, what I am doing is I'm adding some personal goals. So what I really want to do is start to carve out some time to play my instruments. So these are instruments that I played like back in high school. The violin I didn't get very far into learning, but I've had it for years. And it's an instrument I've always wanted to learn. So just taking some time kind of each week to practice both of those. And then I'm also adding kind of daily mindset work. So that's something I've been actively working on, trying to get back into my schedule more regularly. So that will be things like continuing my journaling practice, getting more consistent with meditation, potentially starting to integrate more movement or yoga into my day, like my daily routine. So just kind of going from there. The next one here is just confirming that my divorce is finalized. So December, like mid-December, is the earliest that it can be finalized. And I'm trying to coordinate not having to go to the States to do the court hearing, which looks like it's possible. So I've submitted all of my paperwork that they should need, and then I'm just waiting to hear back that the paperwork is okay. And then also it will just be hearing back that the judge has signed the paperwork and everything's finalized. So that will be a huge weight lifted once that's done. And then what I'm also looking at doing is consider continuing to research like where I want to live. So if I'm going to stay here, if I'm going to go somewhere else, I am researching kind of like what the visa and immigration process is to potentially go overseas. So again, just looking into what that looks like. And then once I have all of the information, just being able to make an informed choice on what do I actually want in my life. Will moving bring me closer to my goals and what I'm looking for in terms of my lifestyle? Or is it something where I ultimately decide to stay kind of in the BC area? I also made a note here for myself just to actually enjoy the holidays. So, giving myself permission to take time to reflect and take time to be in the moment and doing all of the Christmas and holiday things. So that would be really good. And then I've moved to the business side of things. So I have continuing to do at least 3 YouTube videos a week. I think in December, with it being the end of the year, there's the opportunity for a lot of New Year content, and there may be more than 3 videos a week, just as I'm kind of getting everything created that I would like to post on my channel. So we'll see kind of how December goes in terms of how many videos a week I'm doing. Expanding coaching clients. So I did launch my coaching program back at the end of August. So I would love to expand that, get some more clients. And the type of coaching I do is really just focused on helping to clarify what your goals are, helping to create a plan where I'm able to kind of say, okay, chatting with you, these are the goals that you have. These are the ones we're going to focus on, and then breaking them down into kind of weekly goals with you that we can kind of chat about each week. My program that I launched was a 6-week program. And so really just going through that process, giving you that level of accountability, making it really clear in terms of, okay, this week, these are the goals that you want to accomplish, and then having that check-in to keep you accountable with what you're trying to do. I added the 2025 vision board to my personal goal. So something that I love to do in the week between Christmas and New Year's is really think about what do I want to accomplish in the next year. If you've watched me for a while, you will know that I do tend to do quarterly goals. So I like to focus kind of, January to March or in 3-month increments. But I do also like to have like an idea of, okay, for the year, what am I trying to accomplish? And then really break those goals down into kind of 3-month increments and be able to focus on the lower level, like what can I actually accomplish? And I think 3 months is a great period because it's long enough to actually get some big things accomplished, but it's not too long where your goals are potentially going to change too much within that period. So I think that's a great way to focus on your planning throughout the year. And then you'll also see in the business section, I've added quite a few items to launch. So in November, I'm working on building out some of my products. So you'll see that I have a couple courses that I'm wanting to build. One of them is my daily rituals course, which will go with the bundle I already have on Etsy for daily rituals. And it will really just be focused on like, okay, if you were to change your day-to-day habits, to create your dream life? What are the small changes that if you do, pretty consistently, it will put your life in the direction that you're wanting it to go? The other course I have is a journaling course. And then in terms of products, I'm hoping to get my planner into a digitized format. So right now it is like a PDF that you can use GoodNotes and write directly in it as if it's a digital planner, but I'm wanting to add the hyperlinks and everything to the tabs. And then the last one is to launch my business bundle. So I've got about half of the products created for that. So there will be a card deck for that. There will be a journaling workbook. And then there will be a couple other items that I add in that business bundle. And it will just be for planning around your business goals and all of that. So really looking forward to getting that hopefully launched in December. And then I am just going through and I'm adding here. So I'm currently staying with my mom for a little while, just while I figure out next steps. And she is going to be away visiting my brother early December. So I'm just adding that in here for myself, just to have that little note. And then I'm just seeing, is there anything else that I want to add kind of in December? And I do go through and I add a sticker. And I'm just looking for the rescheduled sticker, which I go past a couple times because I thought it was in the font of the happy birthday, but it is actually on one of the bar stickers. So I grabbed the green one for this spread, and this is because I asked to not attend the court hearing. She sent me the paperwork, and in the meantime, she rescheduled the hearing to January, just so if it does need to happen, I'm not going to miss it. And then I've sent in my paperwork, as I mentioned before, to hopefully have them cancel the hearing and just be able to have the judge sign that paperwork. So fingers crossed. And then I was just going through kind of one last time to see what stickers I might want to add, if any, to the spread. I do love stickers, so especially because I've got like 2 different seasonal books, I'm trying to really allow myself to play a little bit more and use them. And so I put this sticker here on the day that winter begins. So it's a little cute bear kind of in a scarf. Thought that was a really sweet sticker. And then I was kind of just looking at the month at a glance there and just seeing if there were any other spots where it would make sense to put a sticker, in terms of the weekends or any other days that weren't like December or any other little events. And what I do pull off is this little kind of, it's like a little notes sticker with the corner bent over. And I just thought that was really cute. So what I might do here, I didn't write anything in it yet, but I might put something to do with, a little note to myself or a little reminder of what I want to focus on for December. That's above and beyond the school stuff that takes up the entire right-hand side. And then again, I just go through, this is the homebody season. So it's another seasonal sticker book, but they're a little bit more neutral, more pastel. And a lot of them are kind of, homebody based. So like, it's the season to stay inside and things like that. So I was just seeing if there were any of those stickers that I wanted to add to this spread. I do wind up using a couple of those on one of the pages, but it's kind of like I was looking here because they're so beautiful, and I was trying to find a way to be able to integrate some of them, but there's just really, I ran out of room at the end of the day on this page. But I do decide to add a couple of those stickers to this spread here. And so you will see me pull that book back out. And again, as I mentioned, it's the Homebody Seasons Happy Planner sticker book. And I was just looking here because I realized there might be a couple other stickers that I can add to that winter's bucket list that maybe weren't included in the other seasons page. So you will see that I add that. I add decorate the house. And so I put that sticker there. And really that's just, getting the house ready for Christmas. And then these mugs I thought were pretty cute, and I thought they kind of went with the vibe on this page. So I added 2 little mugs at the bottom of the business box because I know that I'm not going to use that entire box. And then I looked at the stockings as well. I thought those are really cute, kind of little plaid stockings. So The goal was to kind of put them up by the headers. I was going to put one on the top left as well, but I just realized that it didn't really fit there. So I wound up putting the other stocking on the other page. And it does blend in quite a bit with the background there, so it's not super obvious, but I thought it was still a pretty cute sticker to be able to use in the spread. And then again, just flipping through and seeing, okay, on these two pages that I'm looking at, are there any other stickers that I'm wanting to add? And I do pull up that family time sticker, but as you'll see, there's not really much space to put it on the right-hand side. So I do try to take up that decorate the house sticker that I literally just put down, but it was pulling the page up with it. So I tried kind of a couple different ways to do it to see if I could pull it up without pulling the page up. But ultimately, I decided to leave that one and then try to move a different sticker, just so I didn't ruin the page that I had. Even though ideally that one moving probably would have been the best, like spatially. So I wound up pulling this green sticker up, and the green sticker just says drink hot chocolate, which obviously it is very much a winter kind of drink. I love having a bit of hot chocolate. And then I just put down that family time sticker. I re-add the hot chocolate sticker. So that's the end of my spread. I hope you enjoyed kind of watching me get everything set up, and I hope you have fun setting up your December planner. So I have updated my December overview page here on my wall planning kit. This is my part of my Overcome the Overwhelm planning kit that I do have on my Etsy shop. I'll link it in the description if you're interested. But basically I just pulled out some of the sheets that I wanted to have just in a frame on my wall. I'll zoom out so you can kind of see that's what it looks like. I've just been doing kind of messy functional planning, but you could definitely make this a lot more aesthetic. So what I've done is I've added in all of my December, the calendar, birthdays, big events like that. And then you'll see I have just a summary of the kind of major days. And then I've got my top 3 goals for the month. And what I decided to actually do this month was, for the first time ever, I'm going to attempt kind of Vlogmas or Planmas. I did look to see if Planmas was already a thing, and it is, so I think that's pretty cool. Looking at what I've done so far, kind of in terms of my quarterly goals, so again, just functional messy, but I'm currently working on the statistics course here. So this was originally targeted to be done the first week of December. I'm now targeting to try to finish it in November, but it's a steep ask, so it may still be December. And I do still have it December kind of in that view, which is just a month by month overview. And then this one here is what they call a Gantt chart. And so what you've got is the tasks along the side here where you just write them down. And then you essentially do a bar of when you're hoping to complete the task by, and it just gives a bit of a visual of how far we are. And then again, just for my own visual, I'm checking off the weeks as we go. So you'll see doing really good on the school side of things, which are the kind of harder deadlines I set for myself. And then my business stuff is all in the pink, and that was all kind of nice to do deadlines if my school allowed. So you'll see some of these are a little bit behind, but if we go up to the top, in terms of November, I really wanted to get my planner or my business bundle done. So looking down here, this is my business bundle here, and I was aiming to get it done kind of second to last week in November. So I'm going to try to see if I can still push this one out. I've got a few products that I still need to create. And then the 2025 planner, this one I was hoping to get done really quickly. This is just going through and dating my planner I've already created, my Daily Rituals undated planner. I don't know why I'm having such a block getting that done, but just sitting down and adding the dates, it just feels tedious. So I am also going to try to get that done this month, just so it's live for anyone who's interested in doing that. And again, that's on my Etsy shop as well. The undated one's already there, so this is just adding the actual dates to all of the planners. And I love your feedback. I'm just planning on adding the dates, like, this isn't the calendar from that planner, but just to the planner view. and not so much the day-to-day spreads. So I'd love your thoughts on, would you want every single day dated, or would you just want kind of the month overview? So that's kind of where I'm at. The stats I'm aiming to do, again, by the end of November. So my exam's currently scheduled for the 30th. I may bump that. And then I have an ethics course for management and then a finance course I'm also trying to do. Again, the finance course would be my 6th course of the semester, and technically a full course load is 5. So I'm gonna try to get that one done, but if I don't, again, not the end of the world. So that's kind of a second priority tier for me. But yeah, overall, this is how we're looking. I'm going to be swapping out probably this one for like just a big to-do list of the tasks. I think that would be better for me. And I have one of those in the bundle. In terms of my Q4 goals, so my PMP I did in October, going down the left-hand side, school. I am done my PLAR portfolio, my PLAR exam. So those were just 2 challenges I did. Of the 4 courses for the quarter, I'm already done 1. I'm working on the 2nd. 2025 planner, so I already talked about that. And then in terms of bundles and courses, so my business bundle, again, I mentioned I'm going to try to get that done the end of this month. And then I had a couple kind of courses that I wanted to create. And this would just be doing the creation and potentially launching in December, but it might be a New Year launch. But I just want to get the courses made. They've been in my mind for a long time, so I'd love to do that. This page here is just a quarterly focus, my education. My big picture goal is to do, after my bachelor's is done next semester, apply for my MBA, support systems with my family, and then I've got my main goals here, which are the same ones that I have down here broken down. How am I going to celebrate? So my plan is to actually take a full week off at Christmas and just give myself a breather. I've had a very busy kind of quarter. And then in terms of what I wanted to stop, continue, I want to stop kind of being as distracted by my phone. So putting it away from me when I'm working, continue being focused over spreading myself too thin. So I'm kind of doing that by doing my courses one at a time rather than
And thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day ahead.
That's the Overcome the Overwhelm. This is the wall planning unit, but it's part of the workbook. So if you find the listing with the bundle or the workbook, you will see these pages are part of that bundle.